government is planning to retain these children at least up to 14 years of age. They should get education and a substantial improvement in the quality of education. So the quality of education has to be improved. And how are they going to improve the quality of education? Basically, by focusing on the child. So here the teacher will be playing an important role, but has to take into consideration the need of the child, that it is a very warm, and encouraging approach in which, excuse me, teachers, please mute yourselves. Thank you so much. Thank you. So it will be child-centered. Okay. Then non-formal education. Those children who cannot go to schools, those who are dropouts or due to one or the other reasons, they cannot, visit a school for the education purpose. Then working children, girls, and all those who cannot get education, they would also be provided an opportunity to get education. And the secondary education, this is very important aspect of the new education policy. So it is going to be very, very flexible. Earlier on, we were, putting under 3 basic or 4 basic categories, the children when they enter the +1 class, after 10th, they are able to choose their subjects. But here, there would be a combination of all the subjects, means science, humanities, and commerce. All these will be clubbed together, and the child will be able to select the subjects according to his choice. So now, it is not from 11th, the child can make a choice of his subjects right from class 9. So the system which we are going to follow now is not 10 + 2, it is 5 + 3 + 3 + 4. Okay. Then vocationalization. Now, under vocationalization, here, the skills, they would be given a lot of emphasis. For example, working with the wood carpentry, then chair making, and all those skills, electricity gadgets, repairing of electricity gadgets, and all that. So they would be given a lot of emphasis, because some children, they may not be good at studies, but they would be very good at these skills. So vocationalization would help the children to cope up with this. And secondly, there would be the demand between the labor and the supply, which there is a gap that can be easily maintained. The children will be able to get skilled. Vocational courses would be there to make them skilled in their work. Kuljeet ma'am, the PPT has stopped.
I know, just give me a second, ma'am. Actually, I think, is sir there? Okay. I don't know, recording is going on. Just give me.
No problem. Vocationalization would be there. Yes, now it's there. You have to move a little. Non-formal, yes, we have covered. Yes, higher education. So in higher education, as I already told you, courses and programs will be redesigned to meet the demand of the specialization better. So now the children will be studying the same subjects from 9th onwards. So they would be more, equipped with that subject as compared to the present pattern of 10 + 2. So special emphasis will be laid on linguistic competence. So this is important. Languages will also be given a lot of importance. And there would be a lot of flexibility in the selection of courses that we have already done in higher education. And books and libraries, as you all know, that without books, education is not possible at all. So large number of books according to the need of the syllabus, they would be, looked into. And it would be seen that the quality of the books is also improved so that the children can be benefited to the maximum. And next, we move on to work experience. Now, work experience is not only working with your, learning a skill or something. Work experience here also means making the child do the work, some manual work. It can be any kind of work. So that manual work, and it will be organized as an integral part of learning process, and resulting in, maybe you can make the children learn preparing some goods or services that can be useful for the community. Then now we have discussed, it's a very, very brief account of what the national education policy aims at. No? But there are a lot many things we need to know more. So we are just highlighting now the merits, which are the important merits which we have of this education policy. First is deep concern has been shown by the Prime Minister, as you all know, Narendra Modi, and along with Mr. Ramesh Pokhriyal, they have come together in order to formulate this education policy and the nationwide debate. So as you all know, when this national education policy was, being framed, it was not a single mind. There were so many people involved, the teachers, educators, students, and at present also, the Prime Minister is going to have some kind of debate with the children. So that it was not, work of one person, but a large number of people, they got together and formulated this policy. Then the program of action was checked out. So whatever program was chalked out, it was also seen whether it can be implemented properly or not. And this is an important point, that the Ministry of Education, it has been renamed as the Ministry of Human Resource Development. And the policy is decentralized everywhere. It will be there all over the country. And this we have already done when we were doing this earlier part of the slideshow. That is, all will be given equal opportunity for getting education, vocational and technical education. It will also be an important part of this education policy. And the next thing which we need to know is that the policy, it also emphasizes on improvement of the teachers. So teachers recruitment is will be there on merit improvement. So we as teachers also have to work in order to cope up with the, all the demands of the 21st century, so that we can make our children well educated. So this was a brief, introduction. What are the courses? What are the different advantages of our education policy? So dear teachers, this is a very, very, very brief account, but we should all be having at least this basic knowledge, as the parents, they can ask us so many questions. So it is just a platform which is helping you to get deeper into the education policy. So we have to know more about this education policy. And I think so the management, they will provide more opportunities to learn about this education policy. So maybe next time we'll be doing it in detail. So that's all for today's session. I hope you got a brief account of it. And I really thank the management and Mrs. Kuljit for helping me in today's webinar, and so that we could deliver some of the points to all the teachers. Thank you everyone for joining the meet. And I'm really thankful to the management and all the coordinators who were helping in making this webinar a great success. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much, ma'am, just for arranging such a wonderful session on a very, very short notice. So I am also thankful to each and everybody who is here. So because you all have given us your precious time, but yes, this was also a it was an important information that I think we all should know about it. So that's why it was simply a brief, but we all should continue with it, and we all should either search more and more about NPE so that we should be the expert of this new education policy. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Kuljit, and thank you, dear participants, for joining. Thank you very much.